Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check Ingrid's seasonal pack, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So Ingrid's seasonal pack is actually pretty decent. I hope that you got all the copies that were given to us throughout the different campaigns. And let's see the pack. The pack offers, of course, the skin, which honestly is pretty nice looking. You can remove the coat, and it also comes with gems and a copy of the weapon and the supporter. Back Alley Ingrid is going to increase your... It says each critical hit increases damage dealt by 9% up to 18% for 5 seconds and increases critical damage by 16% up to 32%. So this is important. It is basically numbers that are very similar to Barretta, and Barretta is one of the top supporters that we use on Total War. And this supporter is giving us a buff, just so that you know, which is something that can be abused with certain supporters on certain builds. So that's something to take into consideration. Then, it has an extra passive. Increases critical rate of demon type allies by 8%, up to 16%. Pretty decent for the most part. It is something that we can use, sure. Though not always you want to put the supporter on the main. It is a decent effect, the extra passive, but it doesn't offer enough value in most situations. At the very beginning of the game, it's actually pretty good, but after that, it starts to fall off. So, active. Throw a flaming sword forward, dealing damage equal to 610% up to 1220% of attack, and inflicts a 30% critical resistance decrease effect on the target for 8 seconds. So basically, you're guaranteed your crits. As I mentioned, this is a very good active at the beginning of the game because you don't have that much critical rate, so you're going to crit a lot with this supporter, thankfully. But if you don't have healing, you usually want your healing on the main or invincibility. So yeah, that's the thing, and that's a thing that we're gonna discuss later. Then the weapon, Mech Sword Reverse Inferno. Effect of Evil Bloom changes, and every hit increases critical rate by 2% for 10 seconds, up to 4%, stack up to 10 times. So, up to 40% critical rate increase. And it's in the form of a buff. Again, a buff. So that means that you can equip this along with Melt. Then, increases damage dealt by 10% up to 20% and speed by 10%. Honestly, a pretty decent weapon. The problem with Evil Bloom, there are two problems. Number one, it locks you in place, which is something that at some point we already get used to, and the only thing that you have to do is know when to use your skill. But the other problem about that skill is that it's kinda slow. This fixes that problem. The speed increase, the natural speed increase, is going to help you so that you finish quickly enough and that you deal enough damage to maybe break the super armor of the enemy. So it is not bad. It is not bad. And well, if you got all of these, you will be able to have the weapon and the supporter at 3 out of 5. And if you bought the pack, you will be able to have it at 4 out of 5, both of them. So we're going to do a run with Ingrid. She's going to be using the weapon. So the weapon is going to be 4 out of 5 and plus 14 with critical damage, Magatamas, water element, whatever attack Magatamas, and whatever weapon 5 out of 5 and plus 15 on the sub slot. And let's put those supporters. So for the skills, Evil Bloom, of course, because this is the skill that benefits from this supporter. And it's super important because this has a huge amount of crit synergy. Like, reduces damage taken, that's nice, but critical damage increase, it's going to destroy most things. I mean, tower 120, yeah, that's tanky, but below that, it's going to obliterate things, trust me. Then, Piercing Dragon, because we want the speed increase so that we can finish our Evil Bloom faster. And Evil Flare. We need Evil Flare because of the debuff. And, I mean, the speed reduction is useful, but we need a debuff. That's the thing. Because we're using Susune. Susune is the healer. Ingrid doesn't have a way to heal. So we need an active that heals. And on red we have really few options. Mai, which doesn't work with this character because it's a protect, not a suppress. Yosora, which only gives HP restoration and that's it. And Susune, which gives damage increase against debuffed enemies and healing on the active. With a debuff, by the way. And then back alley Ingrid and Lydia Barretta. Both to increase critical damage tremendously. Stats of the customs, stat training, and oh yeah, of course, the formations. Making a splash, home alone, adventure hunter, Taimanin. So critical rate and critical damage increase for demon and melee, and protect damage increase with melee damage increase. Basically, a perfect set for Ingrid. This is going to deal a tremendous amount of damage. So we start with this, then we just increase our speed and then we use the Evil Bloom. And yeah, like 500,000 with each basic. Well, not with each basic, but at the end of the basic chain, it is pretty decent. And consider that these enemies in particular have damage reduction. 1, 2, and done. And I'll start by using the active. Yeah, like that. 1, 2, and 3. Come on, damage, damage, damage. That Wraith King, it is so tanky. Like, I have to play very safe. Unfortunately, I have to wait for the activation of my supporter. So that I can, so that I can, use it? You see, I'm gonna do it again because I have already beaten this stage with Ingrid, but I wasn't playing safe enough. So let's do that one again. No, this one. As I mentioned, play safe. It is only on this level. Like, I don't think Ingrid can clear 113, not with red. I mean, perhaps with White Feather Aska, maybe. But I don't want to try it. It is extremely difficult. Because of the damage and the fact that she doesn't heal. Okay, and Evil Bloom. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Damage! Just like that. Perfect. So I start by debuffing the enemy. And then... oof. Just 2 more enemies. And yeah, waiting for the right moment to do the activation is super important. Because otherwise the Wraith King is going to deal too much damage. Like, those basics are really, really annoying. There. Yes! I managed. Okay, so now I have to wait. And... oof. Perfect. Nice, no! Come on. Yes. Okay, next thing I have to do. First, eliminate this one. Then debuff the enemies. And then use Evil Bloom. Lastly, I just wait for my cooldown. I don't like to play this way, but it is definitely needed with Ingrid. Like, they should have added a heal on each successful critical hit. That would have been a tremendous help for this character. If they had added that to the weapon, we could use Evil Bloom way more easily than it is right now. Okay, I just do this and this. And I wait a little bit more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And there. And I want to change the wave so that I can start with this. I debuff the enemies. I use Evil Bloom. I deal with 3 of them. And then I'll just stall a little bit so that I can reduce the cooldown once again. And 1 enemy, basically 1 hit. So I'm going to use the ulti right at the beginning of the next wave. So what I have to do is wait for, like, let's say 8 seconds on the cooldown, and then the animation, the other animation. Good enough. Oh, come on, really? Okay, I'll wait for the cooldown of my skill. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, like that. Then 1, 2, 3. Heal and damage, and done. Yeah, it is definitely a good set. I cannot deny its usefulness. Though, it doesn't fix all of Ingrid's issues. The issues about the speed and the fact that it locks you in place when you use Evil Bloom are definitely fixed by increasing the speed and increasing the damage. If you increase the damage, you are more likely to break the superpower of the enemy, so it doesn't matter if you're locked in place as long as they don't do anything. And the speed increase allows you to reach that breakpoint easier. But, you're still getting hit. You still don't have a way to heal. And as I mentioned, the only viable option is Susune, really, on red. So they just missed the mark by this. If they had added in the description heals, I don't know, like 2% of your max HP each time you land a critical hit, it would have been perfect. They didn't need to add that to the supporter. They needed to add this on the weapon, and it would have become like a generic good weapon that you can use in most builds just because of the healing. Poor Ingrid, honestly, she needs another rework. Another renewal. God, that's bad. That's bad. So let's just test this one with another character. A character that can heal, and a character that let's see. This weapon is fine for the most part. So it's going to be like this. I take the Magatamas and I use whatever red. Let's say these ones. Then I equip these ones. Then I change Cold Tempest. Freezing Spear, no. Icicle Zone, yeah, sure. And Absolute Zero. Yeah, Absolute Zero too. So we put Ingrid on the main because we don't need extra healing. Of course, we're gonna put where is it? Bareta, and lastly we put yeah, Fujitsuki, which is one of the best supporters when there are mobs. So this is going to increase my damage tremendously, and it's going to guarantee my crits. I mean, they are pretty much guaranteed, but this is gonna help even more. In fact, I can... Let me just check. Am I melee? Range melee. Yeah, I can. I can forgo this one, because this one gives me more damage. And instead, this is going to be the 20%. And was she assist? I think she was assist. Let's see, Ragnarok is assist. Yeah, she's assist. So this is going to give me a tremendous boost on damage. So let's do it. Let's see how good this is on a character that can already heal. Yeah, the supporter is just that great. Whoa. I mean, she's doing like 500,000 on the basics. Even more at the very end of the chain. So first I use the active and this. And then, what is the activation condition? This. Like that. And it's hold. Hold, yeah, just like that. My god, it is very, very disgusting how much damage it does. And how much control I have over the enemy. Yep. And just like that, the enemies are gone. Yeah, and Rose is very, very strong. Look, Ragnarok, even though it's this strong, is not destroying this enemy super fast like Anaros did. God, the renewal was good. But yeah, this supporter is something that you can use with Anaros too, by the way. Because as I mentioned, this makes perfect synergy, like really, really good, with Baretta. The Bakal, Ingrid, and Baretta should always go together if you can. Okay, just like that. Nice, nice, nice. And I just ultimate on the last one. Well, technically, I can do this. Yeah, when you ulti on a frozen enemy, yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, so it is a pretty good set. So should you buy the limited pack? I mean, it is really good. I won't deny that. And besides, the next one is kind of an experiment on Grimory's part. So if you can afford it, perhaps it's a good idea. If not, don't worry. I mean, the pack repeats. The only thing is that you want to grab all the copies of the supporter if possible. The weapon, it's like, it's fine if you skip it, but it would be nice to have. And talking about the next one very quickly, it is this one. It is Taimanin Lapis. If you want to check its effect, it is kind of weird, but I don't think it is as much as a priority as Ingrid, because a free Lydia Baretta, and Baretta being a supporter that we can see on the top score over here, is something to take note of. So, well, yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!